Well, we made it. Happy Friday, everybody. Today is Friday, June 5th. I'm Henry with the Chamber Station here at our global headquarters, the new Chamber of Commerce at the corner of Lamar and 8th in the first floor of the Hamilton building. I forgot to tell you guys yesterday, so on Wednesday, we had our latest episode of The Pulse where we focused on entrepreneurship, and we had the owners of Monarch Motor Speedway and Horseshoe Bend Sellers on the show. And Katie and I have been talking about what happens if our computers fail or the network goes down in the middle of the show, because it's a live show, right? And I think this was our 6th episode. And so something's going to happen at some point. And our concern was if Katie's computer went down, because she's the one running the thing behind the scenes, that the whole show would just cut off. And so we're 35 minutes in. So we made it through the first half, which is the part that gets put on Fox 18 on Sunday. So that was good. And about 35 minutes in, my little monitor that shows me on screen went black. And I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. And I looked over to my phone, because we have voice over IP phones, so our phones are over the internet. And because this is what happens if our network goes down. And as soon as I looked over at the phone, it said, lost connection, reconnecting to network. I'm like, oh my God. So I look up and I can see Katie's office from here, and we make eye contact, and I'm trying to, hopefully this takes 5 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever. It's probably the longest 3 minutes of my life, or 4 minutes or whatever it was. And so finally I see my computer come back, and it said that the program is back up, and it says I'm backstage. And so Katie has to actually click to put me in. And so I'm trying to get her attention. And by now the whole team is outside my office trying to figure out what's going on. And so she goes back to her office and clicks me back in the show. And when I get back in, well, Scott and Shannon and Misty are just talking to each other. And so I don't think they even knew what happened. They just knew that I had been pulled off screen, and so they just kept on going. It was awesome. I also don't think the viewers knew at all. And so big kudos to Shannon and Misty Kelton and Scott Panish for keeping the show going. Beforehand, we had told them, said, look, if anything happens technology wise and you're kicked out, just come on back. And if I get kicked out, just keep talking. And man, they did it without missing a beat, and it was awesome. So we're working on our show for next week, and State Senator Pat Fallon's going to be the guest, and that should be really interesting. So please plan to watch us live at 3 o'clock. You can send in your questions, and we'll get those asked to our senator. Just want to remind everybody, we won an award for workforce excellence. I just want to keep giving kudos to Taylor Davis, who's the director of our talent partnership, and the whole volunteer team, because that was a lot of work last year. And into this year, working with military spouses and interns and all of our key businesses and so on. And so that was some really cool statewide recognition. Just another reminder that the governor came out with some new orders this week. And so businesses have more changes they can make in terms of how many people are allowed back in their business. We've got a plan in place getting up to 75%. And so on the one hand, yeah, this is great. On the other hand, I'm like, come on, if you're trusting our companies to keep people safe while you're not really enforcing these regulations, just let everybody open back up and say, be safe. And if you don't, somebody's going to turn you in, and somebody's going to come check on you and make you do it. And it's just, at this point, it's just stupid. Either you trust business owners or you don't. But the thing I'm most happy about, and I told you guys yesterday, is Maniac's Mansion gets to open back up. And so, Marcus, we're going to be seeing your big old smile soon. Don't forget to fill out your census if you have not already. It is the most important way to keep track of how many people are living in Wichita Falls. And that's how the federal government, state government allocate resource dollars for things like funding and healthcare and services for the needy and lots of other things. And so we need to make sure we got a good count. If you have not filled out your census yet, please do so. And then Castaway Cove opens today. Yesterday I did my radio show with Mike Hendry, and we had some fun. And then this was really cool. We always do birthday parties in the office and celebrate each person leveling up. And Taylor and I had our birthdays while we were on shelter in place, and so we were at home. Didn't get to have parties, and so the staff threw us a joint party yesterday complete with toilet paper decoration, toilet paper, hand sanitizer, and wipe decoration. And then when we uncovered the two cakes. One cake looked like a canister of wipes, and the other was a roll of toilet paper. And it was the coolest thing ever. And so thanks to our team for putting that together. Today, I'm working on answering some of your questions about the governor's latest orders. We're getting closer on our office manager position. We've got some chamber and 4A business we're working on. Having lunch today with my bud John Deason, so that's always an interesting conversation. And then tonight, we've been watching season 6 of Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay. It's a pretty interesting one. We had kids stuff start back up this week, so some of the kids had athletic workouts, and Elizabeth had dance start back this week. So schedule is kind of going back to normal. And then this weekend, I'm just going to be doing some work and catching up with the family. Don't forget to like the Chamber Facebook page so you can follow what we're up to and stay in touch and on top of what's going on in this town. I'm going to close out today with a quote from one of my favorites, Walt Disney. He said, "Chim chimney, chim chimney, no, that's not the one. He said, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. The hardest thing in the world is to start something. It is easy to come up with ideas. And we do it all the time. And I got a list of 1,000 things I want to do for this chamber and for this community. But man, you just can't get to them all. And so at some point, look at your list and figure out the thing that you want to get done the most and take the first step. Just start. Write the plan, call a meeting, start talking about it. Just start. All right. Today's Friday. Start something today. Love you guys.